The food that you make makes your kitchen pleasant, and the people that you bring in makes your space pleasant. That's what makes it wonderful. My name is Rebecca White. I am the creator of A Pleasant Little Kitchen, which is a business that I created because of a love for food and a love for feeding people and the power that food has to not just nourish us physically, but to nourish our souls, our mind, our emotions, but also our relationships with other people. I am a self-taught cook. I did not go to chef school. I do what I do for food because of a love to feed people and to encourage people to love feeding others and themselves. I started A Pleasant Little Kitchen 10 years ago. I was cooking for a hobby, and a lot of people just wanted my recipes, and I was like, oh man, I would sit and I would text them the recipe, and they'd be like, this is a lot of work. I should just put them all in one spot. I grew up with a family that loved to gather around food. We have a big family, and we would meet all the time, every week at least, at my grandmother's house, and she would have roast or an iceberg lettuce salad with ranch dressing, and my grandfather would make mashed potatoes. I started to really find an interest in food. My husband and I, after we lived in Lubbock for a semester when he finished up, we moved to Dallas. And it was 7 months after we got married, I started to have headaches that wouldn't go away. And I had a headache straight for 6 weeks. And I went to a doctor, and they were like, this isn't normal. You need to get a CT scan. And so got a CT scan, and then they said, no, you need to stay here and you need to get an MRI. And so a week later, I got my results back, and I had a large growth on my pituitary. And they said, you need to have surgery like today. After surgery, I couldn't work. My medical leave was pretty long, and I knew I needed to find a hobby. I needed to find something that would distract me. So I found myself not really knowing my way around the kitchen, not really knowing how to cook truly. I learned how to be comfortable in the kitchen. I learned a rhythm. I knew that food was supposed to be part of my life, but I didn't know in what capacity. In 2013, I had my son. I had a very complicated delivery of him, and it was a low point because I felt, again, another medical issue that I did not want to experience. But something inside of me said, it's time to cook. Get back into the kitchen, cook. And so I started A Pleasant Little Kitchen in 2014, and I started tagging Market Street. And I started getting picked up by the Dallas Morning News and all those little tags that I would do on Instagram. It got the social media attention of Market Street, and so they reached out. And so that relationship began where it's like, hey, can you, if we give you some chilies, make us some recipes? And I was like, of course, this will work great. And then all of a sudden, I'm working with the Dallas Morning News, I'm working with Market Street, I pick up clients throughout the country. And A Pleasant Little Kitchen was a hobby, but was really necessary for me. It becomes a business, and I've been given the opportunity to feed people frequently because of A Pleasant Little Kitchen. All these things that I'm creating, whether it's recipes or photography or film now, it comes from the heart because my desire is to feed others and to encourage people to feed the ones that they love. The food that you make makes your kitchen pleasant. The food and the people that you bring in makes your space pleasant. And the conversations that you have and how you feed others through food and conversation and community and gathering, that's what makes it wonderful. And so equipping people with that confidence that it is possible and that a beautiful plate of food doesn't have to have 20 ingredients. It could really just have 5 ingredients and still have so much flavor. We have established this kitchen rhythm in our family where one kid takes the salad, one kid preps for a sauce, and my husband will also be joining in cooking. It's a family situation where we love being together, and we feed each other by having that goal of creating something for one another. A Pleasant Little Kitchen is more than just a website. It's more than just place, a platform to get recipes. I am so very grateful when people cook my food because it's their time, it's their money, and it's an honor to be by their side. And I don't take that lightly. And so it is an honor and it is a privilege that I carry with me humbly, knowing that I get to cook by people's side. Even though I may not be there with them physically, the moments that I have spent creating that recipe, I keep my community in mind, knowing that this will feed others. Even if it is just a recipe, when you are cooking a recipe, you are cooking with that person. And I think about my grandmother's recipes that I use when I cook. I know that a part of them is with me. A Pleasant Little Kitchen is still making recipes. I post on my website at apleasantlittlekitchen.com. You can also find instructional videos on Instagram at A Pleasant Little Kitchen. And you can also find my work at Shop Market Street on Instagram and on Facebook. You can see me every week posting delicious recipes that some are simple, some may need a little bit of elbow grease, but it's about wholesome cooking, feeding the ones you love, and I cannot wait for you to cook by my side.